look at Mike George with a good-looking hammerlock on Masachono from Japan. Bulldog Bob Brown joining myself, Joe Yellow, here at ringside. And there is a good friend of yours, Bulldog.
Well, that's the manager, Russell Sapp. He goes everywhere with Masachono. He does a fine job of looking after his affairs. And I'll tell you what, he sits at ringside. He minds his own business, never interferes. This is what I like about it. But this is the match that everybody in television land's been waiting to see. Masachono, right now, campaigning in Japan. One of the top stars that they're going to have today. He is their #1 man. Now, we go to the other side, we talk about Mike George, 265 pounds from St. Joe, Missouri. He's got it all. Whether he's going to have it today or not, Joe, it remains to be seen. But I'll guarantee you, as this match gets along, you're going to see a lot of excitement.
Well, Masachono doesn't speak a lot of English, not very fluent in the English language. Managers or any kind of language barrier, Bulldog.
Well, he's got a big problem with the language. I tell you, he can't speak English very, very, very little, and it's hard for him. But I tell you, it doesn't stop him in the ring. I tell you what, he's a wild oil machine. This guy right here, Joe, is capable of going 90 minutes in the ring.
Well, most athletes have to be able to go 90 minutes in the world of professional wrestling, the roughest, toughest sport going today. And you can see he's got I guess a Japanese form of that head scissors right now on Mike George.
It's certainly what you're going to see with the tour coming up, Joe. You're going to see a lot of this, and I'll guarantee you, when you're looking at Mike George, you're kind of looking at Janetti, an Easy Rider, and a few others that need an attitude adjustment. But let's talk about them right now, because we'll take care of business when it comes later on this week and next week on the big tour.
All right, Masachono applying a lot of pressure. You can see the head of Mike George. It's almost at a purple shade now as that oxygen has left the brain. But George with a very agile move for such a big guy there to get out of the hold, reverses it into a nice leg takedown there.
He won't have Masachono down on the mat for very long. I want you to watch. I want you to watch how he escapes from this. He's a master at it.
Well, you can take a look right now. This one has been a topsy-turvy affair right from the start. A pleasure of mine to meet Mike George right here in Canada just over a year ago. A great fellow, but I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to cross him inside the ring.
Well, he reminds me of a little bit of you, Joe. Long pockets and short arms, And I'll tell you what, put you both together, you deserve each other.
All right, Bulldog, you're here to do color commentating, not off-color commentating. All right, as Mike George now with a nice snap mare there and landing that knee right to the small of the neck. Going for the pin. He might have him. Only a 2 count, though. He didn't hook the leg, Bulldog, for a veteran.
That's right. You don't pin Masachono like that. You just don't cover Masachono and think you're going to get an easy victory. If you're going to get a victory over this man, you've got to be at your very, very best. And right now, this hold that Mike George has got is not going to do the job, and I'm kind of surprised at Mike. If I was going after a Japanese wrestler, hey, I'll be tearing his eye out right now.
Well, these two men have been going at it for about 10 minutes, and it looks like, oh, what a savant kick there that knocks Mike George into next week. I don't mind telling you, and now Chono with the severe kicks. And look at him, he is on fire, going to work with a karate thrust now. And he has rung that bell of Mike George a couple of times, setting him up for something here. Whip, Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Oh, what an agile move there from the big man from Japan.
Well, he's doing the thing that he knows best. He stopped Mike George. He's got Mike George in big trouble now. If Mike George don't get up and get out of this situation real quick, this match is going to be over real quick. So I'm surprised right now Masachono is doing what he's doing against Mike George. Usually a lot of people don't get away with these things.
Well, they're both big men, two true heavyweights. It's the meaning. Look at that, though. Masachono going back to work with another big size 13 boot to the chest of Mike George, and George is definitely in trouble.
Well, he's been in trouble now for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Maybe he'll come out of it. Who knows? But right now, Masachono is just playing games with him. Masachono is just about ready to set Mike George up. And just watch those tremendous big Japanese kicks. Remember what I told you, Joe.
Well, both of them feeling the effects of that one, but George coming out on top. Oh, and an inverted backbreaker, if you will, into those abdominal muscles, and Masachono is now in trouble. I'm telling you, this one's been a seesaw battle. Now even the manager is a little bit worried about his man from Japan.
Well, the manager should be concerned, and the referee shouldn't be worried about him. Continue on and calling this match right down the line. Don't let it get out of line. I'll tell you, the manager's not doing nothing, Joe. He's pinpointing to Macedonia to get out of the ring, take an 8 or 9 count, and then get back in.
Well, he definitely needs a breather. Mike George might as well. These two men have been going at it tooth and nail right from the beginning. And it looks like the manager is handing Macedonia something. I've seen this before with this man, and it's usually going to lead to some kind of assault, if you will. He's got his right hand closed there, as you can see. The fans have seen it. And Macedonia might be up for the count here. Let's see what happens. Only a 2 count, though, as he gets picked up. And Mike George applying a lot of pressure right now. A rest hold that Mike George is trying to apply a lot of pressure.
Well, I think you've already jumped the gun, Joe. I don't see nothing in Macedonia's hands. There you are going again, calling the match. I would say to you, Joe, watch the match and watch an exciting match. He's got nothing in his hand.
Well, take a look at that right hand. It's a closed fist. His left hand is open. What can you tell me about that look? That right hand of his is closed. You can see it right from here at ringside. Mike George could be getting himself into some kind of trouble here.
Well, he's got his hand closed, Joe, because he's going to use a fist and punch Mike George right between the eyes.
I'm just about ready to give you a fist right between the eyes because you see what I see here at ringside, all right? And now you're laughing here. He gets a shot to the midsection. Now a boot to the midsection. Macedonia on top, and Mike George is in some kind of trouble here. He better keep his eyes shielded here because Macedonia has got that right hand closed. He's got something in there, and it's probably a handful assault.
Well, I tell you, he's just setting Mike George up, just like I told you a while ago. Now Chono's going to go after him. I think this match is just about over. I don't think Mike George can come out of this. I got to take my hat off. At no time did I ever see the manager give Macedonia anything. He's just given him a tough battle.
All right, Mike George and Macedonia, today's feature match on the WFWA main event. Both of them locking horns in the middle. What strength by the man from Japan. Now going for the 3 count. He hasn't hooked a leg, though. He's not going to beat Mike George on a pinfall like that.
Yes, oh, right, Joe. My goodness, you're getting smarter every week. Just remember what I told you. Watch that big karate kick.
Karate kick my foot. Never mind, he's got a handful of something there. He might have even handed it back to his manager, if you will. He's not known to follow the rules on too many occasions, this Macedonia. He'll go to any extreme to win a match, and you know that, Bulldog.
You actually think Chono would cheat a little bit? Cut corners?
Hey, just a second ago, you're telling me how smart I must be getting week after week. I couldn't be getting that smart if I'm sitting across from you every week, 7 days apart, I'm telling you. Here we go, though. Macedonia still on top of his game, whether you like him or not. And what a right hand that lands to Mike George.
What'd I tell you? He's just got it close so he can use the big punch.
And now Mike George with an open hand. Totally legal, I might add. He might have knocked out Macedonia, maybe put him back in Japan. Who knows? George is on fire now. This one could be coming to a close. As George now with the right hand of his own, maybe a dose of his own medicine, if you will. He's got him set up for something here. Maybe a big forearm in there. It lands on the sternum.
Well, the referee's not moving in and breaking. Listen, Chono's on the rope. Why isn't the referee counting Mike George? He should disqualify.
Well, this is a big match as well, you know, Bulldog. And now, oh, nice side Soto, if you will, chicken wing flip over. Mike George showing a lot of scientific maneuvering.
Well, right now, Mike George is on top of him, but his foot's going to go to the rope.
That's only a 2 count there, and exactly like you called it, Bulldog, the same excuse you've used a lot of times to save yourself from a defeat. It wouldn't put it past me if Macedonia did it again. A nice suplex there.
Well, when you get in trouble and you're close to the ropes, you put your foot over the rope. Any intelligent individual, even you, Joe, should know that. And when you want to take a breather, you go outside, you know you got 10 seconds to get back here.
Well, Mike George just cold-cocked Macedonia, and I don't even think he knows where he is right now. But I'll guarantee you that knee to the head just woke him up again. And I can't help but laughing because Mike George is on top of his game now.
Well, right now it's a 2 count. Chono just kicked him off, and excuse me, and he's going to go to work on him again.
You're getting all choked up here because Mike George has turned this one around, Bulldog, but Macedonia, just when I was writing him off, comes back with a couple of karate thrusts. Irish whip off the rope. Big back to sunset. And now Masachono puts on the brakes. No, he's got him. He might have. Where's the referee when you need him? Only a 2 count. You could have counted up to 10 for crying out loud. That referee's in worse shape. He looks like the Goodyear blimp for crying out loud.
Lead the referee to the referee, Joe. You're not the referee.
You just saw what I saw. There was the right hand full of salt, and now Masachono schoolboys him, holds onto the tight, and he beats Mike George. That is where the salt came into effect, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like him or not. Direct from Tokyo, Japan, he is your winner. We are talking about Masachono, featured right here on WFWA Main Event Wrestling. Stand by for some more great action.